Sergeant Nathanel Young was a 20-year-old lone soldier from the United Kingdom who served in the Golani Brigade's 13th Battalion. He was killed in action on October 7th at the Iftach IDF outpost near Zikim. Following his death, his parents, Chantal and Nikki, chose to make Aliyah and move to Israel, where Nathanel was laid to rest. Today, we will hear from two of his siblings, Gaby and Eliot.
Gaby and Eliot, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having us.
Of course. No, I want to actually start by taking a look backwards. Nathanel told you and others that he really dreamed of making Aliyah to Israel. Can you share a memory that shows where that determination and that Jewish pride actually came from, even as a boy growing up in London?
So Nathanel grew up as the youngest of 5 siblings, and 3 of them made Aliyah when he was only a really young boy. So I have memories of him saying very explicitly that he wanted to, when he grows up, he wants to go and live in Israel and serve in the IDF and have 10 dogs and live near the beach as a 10-year-old. And as well as that, he grew up in a very tightly knit Jewish community in North London. And our parents were very involved in the community, and he also attended Jewish schools and had very, very strong ties to Israel. And they also discussed potentially making Aliyah one day.
You know, Nathanel really found a lot of joy in the army, as you described, but also from other activities that we were talking about, the dog sitting. He wants 10 dogs here in Israel, or DJing in Tel Aviv in the nightclubs, and spending time, of course, with his large family. So what did those passions and his personality tell you about the kind of man that he was becoming?
So as he was growing up, he had lots of different interests, and but he also came across quite a few kind of roadblocks in some occasions. And each time he pushed through them, and he had this determination that he really, really wanted to succeed. So, for example, I'll give you the example of the DJing, because we spoke about the army already. So the DJing, he really, really wanted to become a DJ. So he went to music school and learnt the technical side of it. And then he thought, you know, I'll stay in England. Maybe in Israel I won't have those opportunities. But he came to Israel and he found an opportunity to DJ in one of Tel Aviv's best clubs.
Wow.
And it just showed that even in Israel, where he thought I'm not going to be successful there in the music industry, it just goes to show that many young people think, maybe like I can't achieve my goals in Israel, or maybe I need to go abroad to be able to achieve the things that I want to achieve. But he managed to achieve all those things here in Israel. He got his first apartment, his first real job, his first real DJ residency, and most of all, joining Golani, which was the unit that he really, really wanted to join. He was told that he wouldn't be able to get into Golani. He was pushed back twice. So he went back to the gym and trained even harder and reapplied. He said, no, there must have been a mistake. I'm going to reapply. And he redid the application process to get into Golani. And actually, when we went to his bedroom after he was killed, we actually saw on his wall a poster from a Michael Jordan quote saying, some people think it will happen, some people wish it would happen, and others will make it happen. And we really believe that he lived his life by that motto. And so we've taken that motto and we've created like Make It Happen stickers. And we try and live our lives like in his honor towards that motto. And we see that his friends do too. So he made it happen in Israel.
Wow, it's so incredible to think about that. And I want to take us back, you know, with that idea of making it happen to the day that he unfortunately was killed. On October 7th, he was fighting at the Iftach outpost in Zikim, which is in southern Israel. And you later learned that he helped save a lot of lives that day and really prevented the kibbutz from being infiltrated by as many Hamas terrorists. How did you first hear about what happened? And what do you want the world to most understand about what he did that very day?
So it actually took a whole week till we actually found out that he was in the Yiftach base because he was with Golani soldiers that were mixed in a base, Yiftach. It's very near to Zikim kibbutz, and he was in a base that was a lot of different soldiers. So what actually happened was Naama Boni, who was a soldier, a female soldier who was at the Shingamo at the front of the base, she called her friend who was on the base, called Ido Harush, and as Nathanel and his commander and another soldier were waiting for instruction on what to do because they knew something was happening. They just saw him they just saw Ido get off the phone and run. So they ran after him, and actually they thought maybe someone got injured from a rocket. They didn't realize that actually that Naama had called and reported infiltration. Nathanel, being him, ran straight into the firing line and was killed. And at the same time, the brave soldier Gabriel, who was shot and continued fighting, actually survived, and he's here today, thank God. But there were another 45 soldiers on the base. Many of them were not combat soldiers. And we actually went to hear the results of the inquiry. And what was incredible was hearing that each of the soldiers who were killed that day, each of them took an action and made a decision because there was no command. They had to make decisions on their own.
So your parents actually followed you and now came on Aliyah as a result of, not as a result, but in following in Nathanel's footsteps, who came here and built this life and they said they really needed to be where he is. So how has that move reshaped your family's life, and what are you doing to keep Nathanel's memory alive?
Wow, so first of all, my parents are incredible people. Considering everything they've been through, they have been really, really strong. I think even the day before the funeral, my mum said to me, "That's it, Nikki, we're making Aliyah." I mean, Nikki's my dad. "We're making Aliyah. We have to be here." And within 6 weeks, they had sold their house and come and made Aliyah in November. And since then, my mum goes Israeli dancing with the Nathanel's T-shirt twice a week. My parents are always showing how life goes on, and we have to celebrate every moment that we can in his memory, because Nathanel was a very young and happy, and he loved to party also and celebrate. And I think it's only right that we try as much as we can, even though it's, not very easy times, that we try and live in his memory as he would have wanted us to, and how in his spirit, basically. So we've watched my parents really thrive in Israel, enjoying life in Israel. The amount of support, we have a much wider family in Israel of everyone, of the public and the community, who have really come to support us. We live in a very special place. And we also have recently set up a fund in Nathanel's memory to make it happen in memory of Nathanel. And that is mainly to all different types of initiatives to help youth at risk, young people at risk in Israel and also in the UK, who maybe might go off the path towards success. And we want to help them become successful, whether it's due to mental health or financial instability, or all different kinds of programs. And if you want to find more information, www.nathanel-young.com.
Wow, that's so beautiful. And especially as, we're coming to a conclusion with this, I think we do need some final words of hope. Eliot, perhaps you can just share, what message of hope do you want to convey today? Today being, almost 2 years since the death of your brother.
I think the hope is that, our country is made up of such amazing people, which is why we have chosen to live here, and why my parents have chosen to live here. And that really we should remember all the people that gave their lives, but the hope is really that because of them, we can continue, and we can continue to live here and grow the land. And I know that that's what Nathanel would want. Nathanel would be proud that people are continuing, and that coffee shops are still full, and that and that's
people
what
can achieve their dreams,
and that people can people can really achieve their dreams. That's
we
really
can
the hope.
continue to make it happen.
Yeah.
Well,
Exactly.
Gaby and Eliot, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you, Mayan.
Thank you so much.